welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Last episode we set up the data structures that we're going to be using to drive a lot of the information through our creatures. I also went ahead and just set up this very awful looking island just to, as a sort of testing area for everything. We'll put in like a building here so we can go in and out, and we'll probably set up most of the basic code within this little island. We'll obviously have some patches of grass to run around in, and of course we'll do random encounters. We'll probably get a couple of people on the island we can battle. We'll also maybe put in a building where we can kind of select our first Pokemon. Just so we can basically get all the mechanics going. And then we can go into world building. I might do some world building in between, but for now, I just want to get started on a lot of the code and get things plugged in and working. Now, the creatures are important, of course, within this game. It's like the #1 priority for us to get working. But there's a second thing within sort of Pokemon and TemTem clone games that are equally as important, and that's widgets. My God, does Nintendo love widgets? Like, the insane amount of widgets you have to deal with in this sort of game is unbelievable. There's main menus, pause menus, there's a team menu, there's bag and inventories, there's boxes, there's save and load widgets, there's option widgets, there's dialogue widgets, there's battle transition widgets, there's battle options, there's new move widgets. There's an insane amount of widgets. And even while I talk about this now, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's added another 6 widgets to Scarlet and Violet, just because they thought people wanted more widgets, not more creatures. They wanted more widgets. I'm sure that's the case right now. So we're going to take a look at just getting the structure set up for the widgets, so that we can tackle them one by one. As you see, this very basic pack here. It looks kind of cool. Makes me want to do more of an Arceus game than a Diamond and Pearl game, but I don't want to be the next glitchy hot mess that is Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, let's get on with it. So I had to reload all these packs. If you noticed in the last episode, I had it all in a neat UE5 folder, but apparently the textures don't like that. They like to be on this main screen, so I was like, okay, go on then. Creatures, we obviously did all this setup last time. I think I found a way to do TM moves now that won't need a structure for it necessarily. I do want to do a damage table, which I'll probably do next episode, so that we can sort of start defining the different typings and who affects what. And I want to probably get the other 2 starters information set up so we can start picking our starter and then adding them to our team. Okay, so what we need is some widgets now. It's all going to be driven through our character. So let's create a new folder and call it widgets. Open that up, and now we just need to start creating a ton of blueprints, right? User widget. The first thing we're going to need is a main menu. Now, that's going to drive, it's probably going to sit up top right. It's not going to be a very big menu, but when it pings up, we want to have it that we have all of our main line options. So our Ringmon team, we want our Ringmon bag in inventory, save load and options. There's probably going to be about 4 information. We also might want to do, I just thought of another bloody widget we might want, and we want a progress. I'm going to call it progress widget for now, which will be, we're going to obviously have our own equivalent of gyms. So we want to know what our gyms are. We also want to know how many Pokemon we've caught within our index, our poker index. That's another widget I haven't got written down here. Oh my god, which is going to need to be done, and every one of those has their own separate generated widget. Oh my god, there's a lot of widgets. yeah, so that menu is probably going to have about 5 options. Now, I want to go back to the old school ways where you don't change your creatures on the fly, where you have your box option like on you. I want it to be back to the old school ways where you had to go to a location to change creatures on the fly. I don't want you to be able to do it out in the open world. I think, as convenient as it is, I think it makes like there was like an era of kind of like annoyance. You had to go back and change your creatures, and I think I kind of like that thought process that you if you caught a creature you liked and your party was full, you'd have to go back and change it. I think that, or I think you could change it in the moment, but if you said no, I'll sort that out in a minute, it kind of it was an annoyance to go back and change creatures out. Or if you had like loads of high level creatures and you needed certain ones for a gym, you'd have to go back and reorganize your team. So I kind of like that idea. So that's what our main menus function is going to be. Next, we're gonna probably the most important one is going to be our we're going to call it Ring, because it's the game's codenamed Ringmon Team Widge. So this will be a full widget where you're going to have 6 slots on your left side, and then you'll have all your information kind of on the right side. We're going to also need an inventory underscore widge, and that's going to hold all of our items, and it's going to be basically just a big list of items that we can use to either heal up our creatures, or just see what items we have, make sure we have enough cartridges and things like that. And when I say cartridges, the concept I'm going for this game is you have a bracelet or like a kind of ring, hence the name Ringmon. It's like a bracelet that sits around your wrist, and it holds up to 6 creatures in, but you also have cartridges you use to capture other creatures, etc. So it kind of works like a giant net, I don't know. I'm still coming up with a concept, but it is a ring around your wrist that you kind of aim out, you shoot it, and it captures the creature. If your ring is full, it will transfer that off to the box, but if not, it will store it in one of those 6 slots on your wrist, and you can just press it, and then you aim it, and now bring out your creature. That's the idea in my head of how I wanted to kind of tackle capturing and storing creatures on the person. That way as well, it's a bit hard for people to steal your creatures, Then we want our ring. We want a Ringmon storage. And we'll call that Widge. Now, that might end up being more than one. I'm not entirely sure how the Pokémon and TemTem guys do it, whether they do it all within one widget, or whether they do it across multiple. They have like box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, for example. But we'll explore that when the time comes. We will also need. Now, I'm not going to do a save load widget at the moment. We'll do that in a special episode, I guess. Oops, wrong thing. So we'll worry. And I'm not going to do an options, because that's like a last minute kind of thing you add on to the end. But we will need a dialogue underscore widge, and we'll also need the other one I'm not going to do is battle transitions, because I don't know how battle transitions are going to work for me yet. I don't know whether I'm going to use a widget or whether I'm just going to do some funky camera angles and stuff. We will need a battle. I'm going to call this a battle. We'll just call it battle widget, I guess. Battle widget. That's good enough for me. And that's going to be where the dialogue box is at the bottom. You have your 4 moves, and it tells you what the moves are here, or you can run, open your bag, etc., all that sort of stuff. And then it comes up with a secondary widget here, which you can just hide on the widget, and when you click on an option, it either moves on to give you some different dialogue options, or it'll ping up to say yes or no, and you just click on one of those. That's how we're going to do Battle Widget. We also want a widget for any time. Oh god damn, I keep pressing the wrong thing. We also want another widget for any time your creature learns a new move. So this will be a separate section where it pings up. It'll say, "Oh, so and so wants to learn this move," and you go yes or no. We will also need a progress menu widget. Again, that comes off of the main menu where you click on it, and it will tell you, it'll give you probably a little look at your character, and it'll say what gyms you've done and what Pokemon you've caught, how many, maybe I might put an option for how many shiny Pokemon you've caught, and it'll tell you how much money you have and how long you've been playing, etc. like that. The next thing is going to be, of course, the poker. Well, we'll call ours ring decks for now. Again, it's just a code name put in there for now. So, and the ring decks will obviously be a full menu, and it'll have a list of all the creatures you've caught. Anything you haven't caught will be in question marks, and then it'll have like a sprite, and then all the information if you have caught it. Damn, that's a lot of menus, and I'm sure there's a lot more I need to come up with. Like for the Pokedex, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a slot setup, and I probably need a window setup as well. I don't know, and a few other things. And there's going to be loads. There's going to be a ton of widgets, especially when we start adding dialogue widgets in, and you need a separate one for each person. It's going to get a lot, but you know, it is what it is. So now that we've done that, we can now basically move on and tackle each section of the game one by one. And the first thing I am going to do is set up this main menu. That's what I'm going to do today. Actually, the main menu is going to be the first menu. I want to set up one more called pause menu. My apologies. So another widget added in, pause menu _ widget. So what we want is a canvas panel that we can start working from, and because it's on fill screen, it will be the size we want it to be. And then what we want to get is probably a box, some form of a box. No, we want let's get an image for now. And I don't think it even needs to be this big. We'll have a look at how it looks, I guess. It just needs to be a menu that pops up top right. We'll anchor this. Where's the? Oh, it's there. We'll anchor it to the middle, and that way it'll always sort of stay here when the screen's within place. And what we'll do is we'll set this to black, and we'll set this to about 0.5 for now. I'd love to get a proper official menu set up in here, so I'm not gonna do too much craziness with that. Now we want to get a list of options. I'm gonna put in a horizontal box, like so. and just make it the same size as the image. We could probably do that actually. And do fill. Maybe I want I think actually, to be honest, I want a vertical box, don't I? How do I? Oh gosh. No, I want to undo that. There we go. Delete. Let's get a vertical box. I got the wrong type. Let's drag that out. And then do that, I guess. And then we'll do that. And then we can fill. Then what we want is we want some text to sit at the top. Let's delete that out for a second. Let's just get this right. I don't want to rush this, and I don't want to get it wrong. So we'll just call this menu. We'll call this main menu. And then I do want to get an image, but not that kind of image. And I want to put this at the back here, and I want to set this to let's wrap it in with a size box. And on the size box, let's oh, maybe height. There you go. Oh, let's set it like that. There we go. And then underneath that, we just want to get our options that we can pick, and we want that as a button. So let's grab one button. Let's grab two buttons. 3 buttons, 1 button, 2 button, 3 button, 4 buttons. We want it to have, let's give it some text as well, so we can define what each one is. And set that to, we want the button to be, actually no, we want to say white, because we want the button to be completely, what the hell's happening? No, cancel that, what? We just want it to be opacity. There you go. That's fine. Then we can click on the text and we can call this team. Then we want to do the same with this. Again, just make it a see-through button is absolutely fine. We will change the sizes of the buttons. I want them to be slightly smaller, just so you can see them as much. And this is all very basic, and it looks all very crap, but it's fine because we're gonna we will update it. Then we want our bag. We also want to get our ring decks. We also want to, I didn't do that fully, did I? Oh no. There you go. We also want to save and load. No, we'll call it save game. We don't need to load games. We're only going to load game when we load the saver. And then we can probably copy and paste and call this one options for now. So we can probably shorten this now. That's about as big as we need our menu to be. So if you imagine that on your screen, you're going to get this small little menu show up, and Now, if we, I'm just trying something out. Apologies. Let's just set this to black. Oh, cancel. We want the brush color. There, that was what I was looking to do earlier. There we go. That looks a little bit better now. I say it looks better. It's literally it's literally the most basic widget I could ever create. But for now, while I don't have any visuals, it'll work just fine. So the idea is now when we press the pause button on our controller, it'll bring this menu up. Now we obviously will never be able to touch that, but it should go onto the buttons now and allow us to go up and down and pick whatever we need. So if we click team, it's going to open up our team menu, and it might probably just open up over here, to be honest, so we can just see what's going on. The bag will open up a full-size menu, which we can go through all of our items. Ring decks will bring up a full menu that brings up the Pokédex or our ring decks. Then save game will just bring up a menu. It'll leave the menu up, bring up a menu down here that says, would you like to save the game? And it'll just have a yes, no option. You just click yes or no. Click yes, it'll say saving the game, and it'll save every instance we want it to save. And if we say no, it'll just close the widget and take you back to the menu. And then we probably want an option where we can just say close, actually thinking about it now that while I run that through my head. So let's just drag this out and we'll duplicate this, and it creates it straight in there for us. And we can call this close menu. Now, with the way it's set up at the moment, we've got button 0, button 1, button 2, which is just not going to help us in the long run. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set up this buttons to be team button. We're going to have this one be called bag button. And we're just defining these so later on when we want to start going through the different menus, we know what we're actually affecting. Save game button, and then option button, and close menu. Close menu. Over the next couple of days, I will be showing off the first 3 starters that we're going to be hopefully getting 3D modeled at some point into the game. They are designed. I showed them off on Facebook yesterday and Reddit, and had some positive reviews, some positive feedbacks on them. So keep an eye out for that. That's our main menu set up now. All we need to do is get that working in game, and that's fine. I'm not going to get anything set up at the moment. We're just getting all the basics, and then we'll just kind of pull it all together at the end. So the main menu is done. I'm happy with it. It needs a bit of a design refresh with some cool funky art styles, but for now it's done. It works. It will work. It's just we need to get the other menu set up now. The next thing I'm going to do is probably do our damage table, get that set up ready to implement into our game when we start doing damage to different typings, and then we can move on from there as well. So yeah, next episode damage damage table, so keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to like and comment, leave me any suggestions, leave me any ringmon ideas, leave me anything you'd want to see in the game from the old game. You know, just give me any information you would like to see in these games. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and if you change your mind, then you can always unsubscribe down the line. But thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.